Good day, everyone. My name is Sanjana Mukalam from BEd 2. So my topic is all about the 10 Filipina who advanced modern feminism in the century. So number 1 is Leticia Ramos Shahari, she was a former senator, meaning she served in the Philippine Senate where she helped make national law. She also became the chair of National Commission on the Role of Filipino Women, which is this government agency is work to promote women's right, gender equality, and the protection of women in the Philippines. Later, she worked for the United Nations or UN as Assistant Secretary General for Social Development and Humanitarian Affairs. This is the high-ranking international position where she helped create and read global program like social welfare, community development, poverty reduction, humanitarian assistance. Ibig sabihin, hindi lang sa Philippines government ang kanyang pinaglilingkuran, pati na rin sa buong mundo. So si Leticia is, yung focus niya to sa leadership niya is isang kapatuparan ang pag-improve ng women's life and strengthening social development. She also played a major global role in advancing women's rights by leading the creation of CEDAW. CEDAW means Convention on the Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women. So this is an international agreement which often called the Bill of Rights for Women. She personally drafted the document showing how influential she was in shaping worldwide standards against discrimination. Her work took place during the growing international movement for women's human rights in 1967, helping push that movement forward.
Shahani began her career in the Department of Foreign Affairs after passing the Foreign Service exam. In 1975, she represented the Philippines at the first International Conference on the Status of Women in Mexico, while also helping build local structures to promote women's rights. After the conference, she and fellow Filipina leaders founded the National Commission on the Role of Filipino Women. In 1987, she became a senator under the first Aquino administration, serving 2 terms and authoring pioneering laws to improve the line of women.
So number 2 is si Patricia Benitez Licuan. She held several major leadership roles in women's rights and education, including chairing CHED, the National Commission on the Role of Filipino Women, the Commission on the Status of Women, and a committee of the Fourth World Conference on Women. She also co-founded Asia Pacific Women's Watch and convinced the Asia Pacific NGO Forum in Beijing. As a psychology graduate student, she focuses on issues affecting women, particularly migration, and recognizing how many problems impact women differently than men. After working with the UN, she returned to academia, becoming Vice President of Ateneo de Manila University and later President of Miriam College, where she made the significant decision to return the school to being an all-women's institution. As CHED chairperson, she continued to champion gender equality across the educational institution. So number 3 is si Teresita Quintos Deles. Is a prominent Filipina leader in peace advocacy, anti-poverty work, women's rights, and civil society. She co-founded and chaired the Coalition for Peace and the National Peace Conference and served as presidential advisor on the peace process under President Benigno Aquino III. From 2001 to 2003, she led the National Anti-Poverty Commission promoting programs for marginalized communities. She was also active in the feminist organization Filipina, advancing women's rights and gender equality. Additionally, she represented civil society in the Ramos administration's Social Reform Council, contributing to landmark laws like the Social Reforms and Poverty Elevation Act, the Indigenous Peoples' Right Act, and the anti-rape law. So number 4 is si Sister Mary John Mananzan, is a pioneering Filipino feminist activist, former chairperson of Gabriela, and former president of St. Scholastica's College. She also served as a prioress of the Missionary Benedictine Sisters of the Manila Priory. In 2011, she was recognized as one of the top 100 inspiring people in the world for her work as director of the Institute of Women's Studies at St. Scholastica's, where she was instrumental in developing feminist third world theology within the Catholic Church and introducing feminist activism. Throughout her career, she led women-focused initiatives such as a Women's Crisis Center and the Women's Ecology and Wellness Farm. She also an active participant in the street wait, par- parliament resisting the Marcos dictatorship and advocating for women's rights, social justice, and empowerment. Number 5 is si Sister Christine Tan. She was a pioneering Filipino nun who became the first Filipina head of the Religious of the Good Shepherd in the Philippines and chaired the Association of Major Religious Superiors of Women. She founded the Alay Kapwa Christian community and stood firm against censorship during the Marcos regime. Insisting on continuing the publication of Sign of the Times, President Corazon Aquino appointed her to the 1986 Constitutional Commission, where she represented the urban poor. Despite her wealthy background, she chose to live among and advocate for marginalized communities throughout her life. So number 6 is si Joy Barrios, who known as Maria Josephine Barrios in 1962. She grew into one of the Philippines' most powerful literacy voices, a poet, actress, scriptwriter, and activist. She used her word to capture the struggles and strengths of Filipino women. After earning her PhD in Filipino and Philippines literature at UP, she became a respected professor and leader in College of Arts and Letters. Her poetry collection to be a woman is to live at a time of war made her a recognized voice in feminist literature. She was later honored as one of the nation weavers of history and received the Towns Award in 2004. Today, she continues to teach and inspire at the University of California, bringing Philippine stories to the world. So number 7 is si Maria Lorena Barros. Was a fearless leader, a gifted writer, and a symbol of modern Philippine feminism. In 1970, she graduated in anthropology from the University of Philippines, teaching while pursuing graduate studies. Passionate about justice, she founded Makibaka, the free movement of new women, and became a prominent figure in the fight against the Marcos dictatorship. In 1971, she was among 63 student leaders shared with subversions. Forced underground, she was later arrested in 1973, jailed, and even escaped from Fort Bonifacius Ipil Rehabilitation Center. Underrated, she continued writing poems, songs, and essays while actively joining the underground resistance. By 1974, the Marcos regime had placed a 35,000 pesos bounty on her head. In 1976, during an armed encounter in Quezon, she was seriously wounded and captured. Offered medical treatment in exchange for cooperation, she refused to betray her cause. Lorena Barros died at just 28 years old, leaving behind a legacy of courage, creative and unwavering commitment to women's rights and freedom. So number eight is the attorney Raisa Jujari. She has dedicated her life to advocating for the rights of Muslim women in the Philippines. As the moral program coordinator of the Alternative Legal Assistance Center, she works tirelessly to ensure justice aligned with both Islamic teaching and human rights standards. Seeing the needs for a strong platform for women, she founded NISA UI Hag Fi Bangsamoro, Women for Justice in the Bangsamoro, an organization that empowers Muslim women through trainings, community dialogue, research, and policy advocacy. Her commitment to peace and justice led to her appointment to the MILF Peace Panel in 2014, where she continues to champion the voice of women in shaping a more just and inclusive Bangsamoro. So the ninth is si Rosel Ambubuyog. Rosel Ambubuyog lost her sight at the age of 6, but she never let blindness stop her from chasing excellence. Excelling in school, she graduated as valedictorian in both elementary and high school. And later, she became the first visually impaired Filipina to graduate summa cum laude with a degree in mathematics from Ateneo de Manila University, earning multiple awards for academic excellence and service. Her achievements extend beyond the academics. She received recognition from the 10 outstanding students of the Philippines, the Order of the Knights of Rizal, and the BPI Foundation Science Award. Driven by a passion of power others, Rizal partnered with the Rotary Club of Makati Ayala to provide computers, scanners, and braille technology to schools, opening doors for blind students across the county. Across the country. Now, the last one is si Rosa Henson, na mas kilalang Lola Rosa. Endured one of the darkest chapter in the Philippine history during World War II. She served as a mass messenger for the Hok Balahap, only to be forcibly taken by Japanese forces at the age of 14 and subjected to unimaginable abuse as a comfort woman in Angeles, Pampanga. Decades later, in 1992, she broke her silence with her autobiography Comfort Women, Slaves of Destiny, courageously sharing her story with the world. She became the tireless advocate for justice, joining demonstration and filing a lawsuit in Tokyo to fight for the right of comfort women. Rosa Henson passed away in 1997 at the age of 69, leaving behind a legacy of bravery bravery, and a voice for those who had long been silenced. So women experience several systematic barriers in society and education, where number one is discrimination, where gender bias limits opportunities and access to resources. Number two is sexual abuse and exploitation. Many women and girls faces harassment and violence. Number two, unequal division of unpaid care and domestic work. Women carry a heavier burden of household responsibilities, reducing time for education and career, and also denied access to jobs. So women are often systematically excluded from certain profession or leadership roles. So as RA 9710, Magna Carta for Women, help reduce discrimination and protect women's rights, ensuring equality in education, employment, and social participation. So there are major problems women faced in education. First is the high cost of schooling. Education can financially burdensome for girls. Restricted expectations, social norms, and gender stereotype limits girls' ability to benefit fully from education. Early marriage and teenage pregnancy. Many girls leave school premature due to this pressure. So school-related violence, harassment, and abuse prevent millions of girls from learning safety. So there are values of equality in education for women. Equal opportunities. Boys and girls should have the same chance to exercise their rights and participate in all aspects of life. Leadership and talent development. Educated girls are more likely to become leader, expanding a country's human capital. Economic growth. Societies grow faster when both boys and girls are educated. Economic empowerment. Equal education leads to more equal work opportunities for men and women. Health benefit. Educated women are healthier and raise healthier children. Generation impact. Educated mothers tend to have more educated children, especially daughters. Resilience. Educated women can better protect themselves and their families from economic or environmental challenge. Policies protecting women's right to education. RA 9710, or the Magna Carta for Women, guarantees equality and protection of women's rights. Number 2 is RA 10533, or the Enhanced Basic Education Act of 2013, strengthen access to equality education for all children, including girls. So number 3 is Philippine commitments to the UDHR, or the Uphold Universal Human Rights Standards. Number 4, the CEDAW, or Convention on the Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women, promotes gender equality worldwide. And number 5 is the CRC, or Convention on the Rights of the Child, ensures children's right to education and protection from discrimination. So So unlike many Western feminist movements, which often focus on ideological debates about gender equality, the Philippines women movement is largely driven by practical concerns. This difference comes from the multiple forms of oppression faced by Filipino women and Filipino in general, including poverty, marginalization, and social inequality. Because of these realities, the movement is grounded in concrete issues that directly affect women's lives, such as access to education, fair employment, healthcare, and protection from violence. Rather than abstract theory, it focuses on solving everyday problems. Additionally, Philippines feminism has a strong grassroots based. Many initiatives are led by non-governmental organizations or the NGOs that work directly with communities to promote women-centered development, empowering women to improve their social and economic condition.